And cholera immunization campaign kicks off in Western Bahar El Ghazal, targeting over 2,000 people. Hello, very good evening from wherever you are tuned from. You are watching SSBC News at 8 with me, Duku Wilson. We begin at the SPLM house where Tonj community leader Lewis Anei Madut Kwendit has voiced his full support of the state of emergency recently declared by President Salva Kiir in Warab State, calling it a necessary step to restore law and order. Kwendit made these remarks during a meeting with the SPLM First Deputy Chairperson and Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel. During the meeting, Dr. Bol urges the Tonj community to rally behind President Salva Kiir's directive on the state of emergency in both Warab State and Mayom County of Unity State, emphasizing that the measure is crucial for enabling the disarmament of civilians and for enforcing the rule of law, foundational pillars for achieving social and economic stability. In a media statement, Anei Kwendit expressed deep concern over the persistent intercommunal conflicts affecting Tonj and stressed the need for the effective implementation of the state of emergency to address the root causes of insecurity in the region.
The people of Tonj, we have come to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic for the choice he has made, the trust he has given to Dr. Benjamin Bolmel as one of our sons, and one of our veteran participants of the liberation time. We came also to chair with him as the Vice President for Economic Cluster, to share with him problems pertaining to Tonj area of 3 counties where there is a lot of inter-communal violence in all the 3 counties of Tonj. That is the purpose, and it was a good meeting. We have a nice discussion. We have covered those areas to do with state of emergency announced over Warab State and Mayom County recently, and we express our support and readiness as elders, as intellectuals, as Siyasin, to go and help our government in making the state of
Government has renewed commitment to improving the country's health sector. This comes in a meeting between the Vice President for Service Cluster, Dr. Josephine Joseph Lago, and Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Dr. Martin Elia Lomuro, on Tuesday. In a media briefing following this meeting, Lomuro says he had presented a letter from the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, expected to be signed by the President and be forwarded to several donor countries, underscoring the significance of the document, stating that it is aimed at strengthening South Sudan's capacity to immunize and protect young children against common and widespread diseases affecting the continent. They further discussed preparations for the upcoming 10th East African Health and Scientific Conference slated for June 25th to 27th, 2025 in Juba.
The 2 issues we discussed was, one is a letter from the African Center for Disease Control and Prevention that is supposed to be signed now by His Excellency the President and to be forwarded to a number of donor countries. This is important because it is about strengthening our ability to immunize and protect our young children from diseases that are very common and for which the whole continent is suffering from. So I have undertaken this responsibility to be able to clean up the document and forward to the President for approval. The second was about a conference that is going to take place, a conference on health issues in the Republic of South Sudan. It is a health conference that is to be conducted here by the East African Community.
31 members of high-level ad hoc committee constituted by the president to oversee the implementation of the outstanding issues in the revitalized peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan has conducted its first meeting with high expectations and dedication to fulfill the mandate as stipulated by the country's leadership. The meeting, chaired by Kwol Manyangjuk, has agreed to speed up the completion of the remaining protocols in the provisions of the peace accord to pave way for the conduct of general elections at the end of the transitional period. Kwol calls on committee members to work tirelessly to execute its mandate efficiently for lasting peace and stability to prevail in the country. The committee's secretary, Dr. Martin Elia Lomuro, in a statement on Tuesday disclosed that the committee would work within the time frame of the agreement to ensure that the country attains peace.
It is high time for us to bury our differences and come together so that the political positions should not be reason enough for us not to agree. We must tolerate one another so that we move for elections. The RRCs is our best chance of maintaining peace in our country. So our duty as a committee is to implement it. It has been put in our hands. If we do it right, then that is what the President and the people of South Sudan want and need.
We have done the introduction, then we passed to the minutes of the previous meeting, which resolved and recommended that the committee be reconstituted according to presidential order, so we comply with the Constitution, because it is going to operationalize Article 8.4 on decision of the parties to the agreement to review any article, anything at all that involves the revitalized agreement on the recent conflict in the Republic of South Sudan. So today we have also suggested an operational budget for it. This is very modest, but that will be directly dealt with between the chair, the leadership of the high-level standing committee, and the president. From here on, we're going to go out there. We're going to go with our action plan on how we're going to work. We're going to go to RJMIC. We're going to go to the regional international bodies, and the government is going to be reinvigorated. So we think we are in good move, including all the.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mande Simaya Kumba, and the UK Special Envoy for Sudan and South Sudan, Claire Staunton, discussed the status of the revitalized peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, access, and the country's current political situation. Minister Kumba reiterated government's unwavering commitment to fully implementing the peace agreement. UK's Envoy Stanton reaffirmed the Britain's commitment to partnering with the government of South Sudan. The meeting underscores the ongoing international engagement aimed at supporting South Sudan's path towards lasting peace. It's time to go for a short break. Please do stay with us because more stories are still right ahead. We are back in a moment. Thank you for staying with us. Moving on, the Human Rights Division at the United Nations Mission in South Sudan has on Tuesday delivered equipment to the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to promote human rights in the country. The support that includes chairs was received by Minister Dr. Wek Mamer, who commended UNMISS for its continuous support aimed at strengthening the institutional capacity. UNMISS Director for Human Rights Division, Musa Gassama, reiterated their commitment to collaborating with the ministry to promote and protect human rights.
The Ministry of Justice presents its compliment to UNMISS Human Rights Division for continued support that will strengthen institutional capacity of our ministry and will help a division that work in this field in many ways. And we just request from you to remain committed to supporting our ministry in its quest for promoting the justice and rule of law in the country.
Institutional support is one way of reinforcing the capacity of the ministry to promote and to protect human rights. We cannot just be submitting public reports criticizing the government, but we should also come in as a partner to support you to do more in promoting and protecting human rights. So that is the essence. While we can express concerns about the human rights situation, we also have to be with you in addressing.
The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, organized a function to showcase the management of Global Fund grants for South Sudan. The fund has been supporting government efforts to combat HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, to saving lives and strengthening the country's healthcare system. Speaking during the event that brought together government stakeholders and UN representatives, the acting health minister, James Hothmai, emphasizes that the Global Fund has played a great role during the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Yet the chairperson of the South Sudan HIV/AIDS Commission, Dr. Justin Kawach, stresses the importance of the fund in expanding life-saving support to the communities on HIV/AIDS precautionary measures. UNDP representative Mohammed says several medical facilities have been reinforced through the Global Fund grant in South Sudan.
The investment in medical oxygen and medical waste management you have just witnessed at these facilities is a testimony of their help. Since 2004, the Global Funds has committed over 799 million to the people of South Sudan and disbursed over 701 million to date, assisting us to work toward achieving the global HIV target, whereby 95% of people living with HIV know their status. 2, 95% of those diagnosed with HIV are on antiretroviral treatment.
At the HIV/AIDS Commission, we've been able to expand life-saving treatment. Thanks to your support, we've been able to undergo critical prevention measures, HIV prevention measures, and we've been able to strengthen the health system nationwide.
In a special way, I commend the government of the Republic of South Sudan for creating a space that enabled the Global Fund partnership to flourish. Several other hospitals and health facilities also get medical oxygen, thanks to the oxygen plants installed here at the Riverside Warehouse, Juba Teaching Hospitals, and WOW Regional Warehouse through Global Fund support. I would like to thank the beneficiary who have shared their experience of how transformative and life-saving the Global Fund is.
The second annual Gender Equality Forum commences in Juba, highlighting the importance of gender equality to ensure equitable society. But Simon has more in the following report.
These significant challenges are worsened by ongoing conflict, unbalanced institutional mechanisms, and inadequate gender-responsive budgeting. The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Esther Ikere Eluzai, affirms that addressing these gaps requires a comprehensive strategies focused on legal perspectives, socio-economic developments, and cultural shift to empower women and girls.
Development of friendly versions, but at the same time ensuring that the action plan is translated into local languages that will also be able to reach women at the grassroots. We need to ensure commitment by having clear commitment by relevant line ministries. One example is the National Action Plan on Gender and Security Sector Reform, which is an action plan trying to mainstream gender in the security sector.
The DVT resident representative, UNDP, South Sudan, Silang Ngatai, affirms that the UN agencies are committed to supporting the government of the Republic of South Sudan to achieving effective implementation of women's overall participation in political and decision-making process at all levels.
I urge all of us to leverage this vital occasion to advocate for gender equality across all aspects. Let us work collectively to ensure stronger implementation of the 35% gender provision in the coming year, and to complete any pending work on policies, on laws, or frameworks.
The European Union representative Lothar Jakin affirms that there is further consideration of the projects complementing the government efforts on eradicating gender inequality against women and girls.
These projects were particularly addressing different aspects of women empowerment at grassroots levels, providing survivors with psychosocial support, legal support, promoting women's economic and social empowerment. This project ended last year, but not our engagement will continue, and today a colleague of mine should be here, but she's not here because she's at the launch of one of our projects concerning gender-based violence.
The forum also points out some of the significant barriers, including rooted gender divisions in labor, high risk of gender-based violence, and working environment not sensitive to women's needs and their contributions to the wider humanitarian affairs. Abate Simon Godo, SSBC News.
Hundreds of people from Alian community in Jale Payam, Bor County attended the inauguration of Yom Chir Boma. Addressing the ceremony, Jonglei State Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Nyalela John Chol, called on the people of Jonglei to embrace peace, unity, adding that Governor Kok Gai is deeply committed to encouraging agricultural activities to ensure food security. A member of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly representing Twitch East County, Deng Dao Deng, urged the people of Jonglei to promote peace and unity for effective service delivery.
جنقول ده هو تأسيس بتاعت الحركة الشعبية، فأنا شايف أن إحنا من نجروا في جنقوله ونخلوه فاضي. أنا شايف حاجة ده ما كويس بالنسبة لجنقوله. فأنا بقول بين دين داو كودين تيل أنتوا أبقوا قوي لمنطقة ده عشان إحنا نتكاتفوا كجنقوله كله بدون فريس. ده حاجة أنا ممكن أقوله بالنسبة لنا كجنقوله. حاجة تانية أنا بقوله ده ربنا ده قال ما بدي في خلا، قال قاعدين تزول في وسط الناس. أنا بقول ولاية جنقوله بدو بحساب الأخرى، لكن اليوم جينا وقفنا هنا في فيام ده بتاع الجلة ده. أنا بقول لكم مبروك، لأنه فيام بتاعكم البومة ده جا تهيئ إدارة بتاعت شنو؟ بتاعت حركة الشعبية. وزول جابوا ده دكتور رجاي، يعني زول كان شكره زي كأنه أنت ما قاعد تقول الحقيقة. جابوهم قال لكم حتى التراكتورات ده جاهزين وبيجيبوهم هنا.
It's time to go for another short break, and coming up, over 200,000 people to receive cholera vaccine in Wau. This story and more after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. Moving on, cholera vaccination has begun in Western Bahr el Ghazal state, with the campaign targeting over 200,000 people. Speaking in Wau at the launch of this campaign, Governor Emmanuel Primo Okello acknowledges the role being played by partners in supporting the country's health services and called on communities to adhere to health guidelines to prevent the spread of cholera epidemic. Western Bahr el Ghazal State Minister of Health, Dr. Francis Michael Hassan, says the vaccination would be extended to all the health centers across 3 counties of the state. Representing World Health Organization, Joseph Chok urges social workers to intensify public awareness on the significance of the vaccine and promoting clean environment to prevent diseases, expressing the UN agency's continued support to health sector.
وزارة الصحة الاتحادية Honorable Sara Kireto وكل طاقم في وزارة الصحة الاتحادية لوقوفهم معنا، وبالذات منظمة الصحة العالمية اللي اتحدوا وبذلوا مجهود كبير. حاجة هو الإرشادات بتاعت وزارة الصحة خصوصا في جانب بتاعت النظام.
سأتلاكم زي ما ذكر السيد مدير العام، يمكن نحن في واو نحن مستهدفين 270,000. الفاكسين اللي وصلنا 140، ونحن لسه كوزارة صحة وبدعم بتاعتك نحن هنشتغل عشان ما انه الباقي الفاكسين الفارق تقدر تصلنا من جوبا.
ثاني داير نقوله لنازل بمشي بوضع معلومة بتاع الدواء دي البنادم عن social mobilizers ده عشان كلام ده كنجا بنجا عشانكم. إنتم يا بمشي بوريبو كمار ده كويس للناس بتاع واو كله. تمشي تقولوا من يا جماعة دواء ده مهم.
Governor James Kwang Chol says security, peace and reconciliation efforts in Upper Nile State remain top priorities of his administration. Governor Chol stated this in an interview with SSBC, where he reiterated his commitment to improve service delivery despite prevailing challenges triggered by climate change and conflict in parts of the state, appreciating the National Health Ministry and humanitarian agencies for providing cholera vaccines, which he described as a good gesture in preventing the spread of the disease.
عشان نوجهه للشعب بتاعنا في جنوب السودان وفي على النيل بصفة خاصة إنه أهم شيء ده وحدة. نحن نوحد أنفسنا عشان نحن نواجه المشاكل اللي بواجهنا في ولاية. نحن لو ما عندنا وحدة ما هنكون عندنا استقرار، والاستقرار بيجي من وحدة إننا نواجه للشعب بتاعنا إنه يمسكوا يدينهم سوا. ونادى لنا مشاكل في مشاكل بتاعت في اتجاه بتاع ناصر وفي ولان انتوا ارجع مناطقكم وانتوا بلغ انفسكم له كل زول بلغ له اكونت بتاعه لانه عندك اكونت كوميشنر يعني عندك كوميشنر بتاع وعندك سلاطين بتاع ده بخليك انتوا تكون عندك استقرار وكلام اللي انتوا اختارتوا الشكل ده ما كلام سيء لانه الشكل ده ما بيجيب لك حاجه يجيب لك مرض بقيت بكون جيعان وانت بكون جاري كل يوم.
Upper Nile state authorities have reaffirmed steadfast dedication to working closely with the Malakal prison administration towards addressing the correctional facility. Deputy Governor Deng Joa Angok made the remarks during a meeting with the National Prison Service Administrator that focused on reviewing this stark challenges faced by Malakal prison. Joa expressed his full support for the prison administration in addressing its operational difficulties and improving conditions for inmates.
أنا بشكركم على الجهة بتاعكم بكون في تعاون في مجال ذكركم إن شاء الله. بس أنا داير أوصي لأنه الموضوع بتاع الأكل بالنسبة للولاية متعب. طبعا ما في شركة أو أنتم في هناك السجن ده معتمدين إنه في جهة بدله عشان يأكل يعني نفس المشاكل اللي تواجهنا هو نفس المشاكل اللي تواجه المحافظة مطلوب المحافظة الرن محافظين المال اللي عندكم فيه الموضوع لما يصير صراحة فوق بيكون أفضل. الزول اللي بدله الكونترا بتاع الأكل ده هو بيستعجل يعني ده طلب بتاعنا وهيت إنه تشيله معكم.
We have a problem of court. We don't have a judge here inside Malakal. So that's why most of the inmates are here not convicted. They are here just remand prisoners. So that is number 2 of the challenges. Number 3 of the challenges, we have a lot of problem here. You know, Malakalia is now completely a landlocked. We have only a airport, but we don't have sea, we don't have road. That's why our things are not going well.
Hear from them their challenges, and the more burning issue is the issue of judge in the state headquarters, because the number of remand prisoners is very high. So it is the urgent need from state authority to look into it to provide a judge that can come and solve the issues of remand prisoners. Our second issue is drug in prison clinic. Prisoners are claiming.
The government of Ruweng Administrative Area holds with a meeting with delegation from Greater Pioneer Operating Company, GPOC, led by Vice President of the company, Engineer Ben Ngor Chol. In a statement to SSBC shortly after the meeting, the company's Vice President, Ben Ngor Chol, says that the meeting centered on enhancement of service delivery besides the support provided by the government to the company, adding that they affirmed the significance of deepening cooperation between the company and the government. Ruweng Acting Information Minister Monylang Minyel Thowell outlines the objectives, saying they reviewed the projects being funded and implemented by the company in the area, adding that they have agreed to continue collaborate to serve the people of Ruweng in various capacities.
We came here to Ruweng Administrative Area with my team from GPOC that came along with me from Jibo. To come here and discuss a range of issues of cooperation between GPOCs and Ruweng administrative areas and how best we can align the services that we deliver to community and how Ruweng's government can support GPOC operation, and we have agreed to work on these alignments and cooperation.
بين حكومة إدارة روين وشركة جيفوك
وكان هدف من الاجتماع ده متابعة المشاريع كان جيفوك قدموا في العام الماضي أو حكومة أروين قدموا لجيفوك في العام الماضي ومراجعة لمشاريع ده الحمد لله إننا اتفقنا على إنه المشاريع تستمر واتفقنا برضو على إنه يكون في تعاون قوي خالص بين شركة جيفوك وحكومة إدارية وهو برضو جيفوك يعني ناشط الحكومة على أساس إنه المواطنين الموجودين في مناطق بتاع بترول حكومة إدارية وافق كذلك على إنه أي مواطن موجود في مناطق بتاع بترول شغالين في الفحم شغالين في الأسماك يرحلوا من محله ويجيبوا لمناطق يمكن.
It's time to go for another short break. Please do stay with us because more stories are still lined up ahead. Welcome back from that short break and thank you for staying with us. If you have just joined us, you are watching SSBC News with me, Duku Wilson. Moving on, South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority has updated airline operators on progress and communication channel to enhancing the work of the country's civil aviation. Speaking to SSBC, the Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority, John Wajah, clarifies that the meeting broadly discussed the progress made so far, which significantly reflects ways to improve service on air transport system. The authority spokesperson David Loputu Paulino stated that the briefing highlighted the commitment and areas of cooperation between the airline operators and the authority to improve and ensure international standard.
We reflected on the progress we have made in civil aviation sector, and we chart a way forward to improve the services to the public. And I'm grateful that the airline operators are working with the Civil Aviation Authority closely to make the air transport system facilitation to meet the standards. We are encouraged with the support from the airline operators to ensure a safe, efficient, and sustainable air transport system.
The General have given more briefing to the airlines and urging them that we need to work together for the development of all airports of South Sudan, especially Juba.
Now, officials from the National Election Commission have begun carrying out a lecture on the mandate of the Commission and its act. This briefing is aimed at fostering youth participation in political governance and structures and peace process. George Lemy, the Commission's spokesperson, underscores that they enlightened the students on the mandate of the National Elections Commission. Pearl Jok Jack, the youth representative, commends the Commission for briefing students on its act.
Is the National Election Act 2012 amended 2023 is about. Commission is the sole body entrusted with the management of all the electoral activities. 1. Establishment of High State Election Committee Office. 2. Stating election timeline and constituency boundary delimitation. Voter registration. Setting procedures and rules. Candidate nomination. 6. Nomination of election officers. Regulate and monitor electoral campaign.
As the youth ambassador, promise that I will foster collaboration among ourselves to make sure that we participate as one country, as one youth, to make sure that the coming election of 2026 goes on successfully, and with the collaboration from us, we can be able to make a positive impact in our country.
First, on behalf of the staff at the National University Students Union, allow me to express my gratitude and appreciation to Mr. Atem for considering our university. This is the
Former Lake State Police Commissioner and current Director General for Civil Registry, Nationality, Passports and Immigration, Major General Elia Costa Faustino, officiated the graduation of 11 female police drivers on Monday. Speaking during the ceremony, Elia praised the milestone as a significant step toward gender inclusion in policing. New Police Commissioner Major General Chol Atem Jongeth pledges to strengthen cooperation among officers of all ranks.
Makala kuzamili chola tem ashaneji hina anakutana lazim neji mao sawa ashaneji ni selimkum alkuwa kullu uriasa bita wilaya Lake State kullu ni selima alo jidamkum kullukum baada sabab numero 1 ana jidbeo sabab numero 2 banat bitaadil al-asal karaju sawaginda ده شغل نحن بدأناه وكان مهم خالص عشان نجي ونحضر تكريج بتاعهم الليلة. فأنا بقول لهم ألف مبروك لكم للتكريج بتاعكم. فإن شاء الله تمشوا لقدام. وباقي ناس اللي لسه ما ضربوا على الدنيا أنا متأكد سيد اللي وبجي بواصل معهم. وبرضه أنا بقول لكم أنا بشيل الأسماء بتاعكم كلكم. أنا بمشي بيه جوبا. أنا بيجو ترى لكم رخصة بتاع قيادة أنا بعملها وأنا برسل لكم هنا.
يبقى شغل ما هيفرق. ده شغل تاع الشرطة. ما هنخرج برا من شغل تاع الشرطة وقوانين بتاعه والبوليسي اللي هو سياسة ولاية وحكومية. ده واحد نشتغل فيهم. عندكم جاهزية؟ جاهزين. عندكم جاهزية؟ جاهزين؟ جاهزين تكونوا معي؟ جاهزين. أنا داير كل الشرطة يجي عشان نحن نجي نتمم بعضنا البعض ونعرفوا اللي عنده جاهزية منو.
And that's all we have in this news bulletin this evening. From me, Duku Wilson, and my colleagues here at SSBC, we thank you for watching, and please wait for 9 p.m. news. Good night.